Okay guys, I got my motor wires all soldered up. I got my motor bolted up, and I've stuck the bolts out this way so I could get the nuts on, and I've double nutted everything, and I've got room for clearance here. So later on I will cut these off and add a little bit of glue so they don't vibrate loose, but just to make sure that I've got my motor angles right, I'm going to wait just in case I have to shim a little more down or a little more right. So after my maiden, I'll check that. And what I did to my ESC, I've already checked the motor's running the right way, so I've heat shrunk everything. And I cut a little hole in here and run my wires, my battery wire up through there, and my RX wire, and I've put a little bit of Velcro here, and I put my a little bit of Velcro on my ESC. So now I've got that tucked in here, and my battery wires come up through here, and I've got my RX in there, and everything is just Velcroed in. And so I can check with my center of balance to see if I have to move anything around. But so now I know my RX is right, or my ESC is right. I cut a piece, one more piece of foam now, 4 3/4 inches long. I went 1 3/4, and every 1/2 inch cut a little bit out again so I can shape this. Now I can put this, go ahead and glue this in, and once this is glued in, we'll have just a little hole here. It's about like an inch hole where air can go in here, and it's going to cool off our ESC. So now I've got all this hooked up. It's been checked. Everything is running right. So now it's the time for me to go ahead and I can go ahead and glue this piece in, and I'm done with all my pieces. All right, just like everything before, tuck all my wires down here nice and tight. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on every one of these little cuts. So when I'm going to start taking shape, they'll be glued together. I'm going to put a little glue in here and down the sides. And go ahead and put this piece in. Okay, so now we got this piece in. It's the last piece of that plane now. And air can come in here, cool our ESC off. We need room back here now for some air to come out. So what I do is come back somewhere in here past your servos, and we're going to put another, we're going to just cut a, where we glued this, so you're going to need to stay away from that just a little bit. And we're going to need to put an exit hole for all the air that's going to come out. We need a place for it to come out. And you can do this any size. You can use a round. You can cut a round hole in here. I'm just going to cut a little hole about that size. Okay guys, now we got our exit hole for our airflow. We can move on to the latch. And what I do, I take an old servo horn and drill out the center a little bit. And what we'll do is mount it right in the front here, so it will hold this lid shut, our battery lid shut. Take a little screwdriver, poke a little hole through there, and if you got some little bolts, make sure you got a nice little washer on it. If you got fat fingers like I do, you might need to use your vice grips. And get these bolts started. And since this is on an angle, what I do to the servo horn is kind of bend one down some, so once it's bent, usually it'll stay shaped pretty well. And we're gonna double nut it. I'm going to put one on, and we'll put another one on top of that. And we'll snug that first one down. You don't want it too tight. You just want it so it is snug. Put the second nut on. Kind of double nut it so it won't come off. Now we can trim that bolt. And we'll put a dab of hot glue, just so we know that doesn't come off, vibrate off. And we can tuck our battery wire back in. Now when we close our lid, fold our servo back, we know that's not going to blow open. I use these on all of my canopies and everything. An extra servo horn. I've always had the magnetic ones come apart, and ever since I've been using the servo horns, I haven't had a problem since. Alright, now the control rods. I use, this is stainless steel filler rod. You can get it at your local welding store. It's 3/16L stainless steel, 1/16 inch diameter. It's got a high tensile strength, so it doesn't bow as bad. And then I take my trusty vice grips again and get right to the end of it and get it nice and tight, and then just take my thumb and roll a 90, and then come back and tighten it up a little bit tighter than that, and then you can roll you can make your Z bend. Once you got your Z bend made, you can check your length you need. If you don't have the welding shop close to you, 1/16 wire from somewhere. You can even use the little flag banners. Don't tell nobody I told you that. With the flag banners on the side of the roads. that they use. Now you want to make sure you got, you want to loosen your control surfaces up some and make sure everything is working good. The farther down you go, the more throw you're going to get. So I'm going to stay up just one hole up because I've got a computerized radio, so I can throw quite a bit of throws in it. And this is where we use, this is those quick connects. That's why I love the quick connects. And you might have to trim it just a little bit more. Get all of our control surfaces together. And our rods sticking through there. I've already got some more made up here. Yeah, you can use those little flags on the side of the road that the telephone or the electric company puts down. You can actually use those. See, once I pull that over, and I know it's still a little long. I always make them a little long to start with because it's come up short, you're going to be mad. But this is where I love those quick connects. They're Durabro quick connects. Once you stick the rod through there, then you can snug up this. Once you got everything lined up, you can snug this down, tighten it, and you can adjust it. But I get like 8 of those Durabro connectors for like $1 and something at my local hobby shop. Okay, we're going to need 2 more quick connects to tie these wings in. And I'm going to put these it really don't matter. So I'm going to put these to the bottom hole so to make it a little easier getting to. These here are, everything's running 1-to-1. So bottom hole on the control arm. Make sure it spins free. I'm gonna make sure I put them all the same way. Bottom hole on the control arm. The clip. Just so to make it easier, and then when we're running linkage rods through here, we can adjust and they won't hit anything. Because we're running these 1-to-1. Whatever the bottom one moves with the servo, the top one will move the same. So let me make a couple more rods. I'm leaving all these rods loose for right now, so we can center everything back up and set everything.